Hey, what's going on, y'all? Steve Peterson here, and just getting back from New York, wrapping up the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. What an amazing program. It was a 3-month program that culminated in New York City at the Goldman Sachs headquarters. And we flew in on Sunday, May 22nd, and that was the deadline. We had to present what was called, or upload what was called our growth plan, which was a very in-depth business plan on how we're going to grow our company, how we take our small business and make it a big business. And what we also had to do is create a 4-page PowerPoint on our presentation. So we had to take this long document, which is called our growth plan. For me, it was 85 pages, and break it down into a 4-page PowerPoint and present that PowerPoint in 3 minutes. And so we did that on Thursday. We flew in on Sunday, had to turn all that stuff in by midnight, East Coast time. The next day on Monday, we had a networking event. That was the first event. And we networked the whole time while we were there. That was the theme, networking. And on Tuesday, they brought us in. We had a 4-hour negotiation clinic, which was amazing. And essentially, they taught us to ask for what you want in negotiation and know who you are, know your value, right? They talked to us about the importance of preparing and getting to know the other side, but really just knowing your value and not discounting yourself. Because as small businesses, a lot of times we do that, right? And then we did the afternoon Tuesday was an HR clinic. And the one thing I took away from the HR clinic was to treat your employees as investments as opposed to expenses. A lot of times we look at, hey, we got to make payroll or we got to pay people, but actually the thought process should be looking at them as investments. And so investments you're going to nurture, you're going to watch, you're going to do everything you can do to make sure that investment grows and is successful. And that's how we ought to treat our employees. That's how we ought to treat our team, especially as small businesses who are looking to scale up, right? And we all looking to go to the next level. That's why we were here at this program, right? And so very impactful. And on Wednesday, they brought us in and we talked about our exit strategy, right? What are we gonna do at the end of this road called building our business? And a lot of us, we haven't thought about that, right? And so we had to map out what our exit strategy was, what we want our businesses to accomplish for us at the end. Do we want our business to go to our family? Do we want to sell it? Do we want to go public? Do we want to, die with it? What do you want to do with it? And so that was an interesting conversation and discussion because many of us haven't thought about that before. Something that maybe you should think about if you got a business or a bunch of portfolio of properties. And then we talked a little bit about advocacy, the importance of advocating as small businesses for things that are important to us, being that we are the heartbeat of the American economy. We are the bedrock of the American economy, being that small businesses run America essentially. Even though the big corporations got all the money and the power, we are the engine that drives the economy. So we need to advocate for that, right? And then we finished the rest of Wednesday presenting our practicing our growth pitch. And then on Thursday, we brought us in and from 8 o'clock in the morning to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, all of us in our different groups presented our 3-minute growth plan, how we're going to expand our company. This big presentation or this big plan that we created, we had to break down into 3 minutes. And in doing so, we had to be efficient, effective, and compelling about how we're going to grow our companies. We also made our presentations and we also gave feedback to the other businesses, which is a great and received the feedback, which was a great process. And then we went and had a graduation ceremony, and we kept it lit. We had a recap reception. It was heavy networking, and then all the business owners went out and kicked it heavy. We partied in New York, man. We made it memorable. It was cool. We made some lifelong connections. Some of the people there were just amazing. And a few of the things that I took from New York, but also the whole program, is to first of all take a step back and work on your business, not to be so much in your business, right? And that is the executive function that we need to employ if we're ever going to scale our businesses up. A lot of in the small business world, we just thinking day to day. We got to take a step back, plan things out, operate like a CEO, operate, as if we're beginning with the end in mind, looking at what our exit strategy is going to be like, and operate every day to get there. So that was huge, right? But also being intentional about every single thing you do, not just doing something to close a deal, not just doing something to bring in money, but making sure these things that we're doing are intentional to accomplish our goals. And then also finding ways to add value. Like, how can we add value in our marketing process? How can we add value in our accounting process, right? In our customer value proposition, right? What do we do to make the customer experience excellent, right? These are just things that I learned, a few of the things that I learned through the program, the importance of financial projections, all those, forecasting, budgeting, making sure your balance sheet balances, all these types of things that if we can do as small businesses, we can scale, because we have the spirit of the American economy, and we are the ones who build it. Now, if we can figure out how to scale our companies, we actually, in this economy going forward, we can make more of an impact than some of these big corporations, and we can have more of a lasting impact on our families and our communities. Hope you learned something, and let's continue as entrepreneurs, investors, people in the real estate space to continue growing our business, growing our portfolios, and building a family legacy.